Yeah, what up, my homies? Won that championship last year, baby. Yeah, well, you know what's cracking, doggies. We popping up in this bitch. Hey, let me tell you something. Thank you, Julian. Quiet this down. Julian, this is for you, homie. All right? You got me off the couch to get this video done. You sent me a message. So this whole video, man, this is a straight up extravaganza I put on here, homie. Just for you, doggy. Because you messaged me, man. I mean, I wasn't even sure if anybody was digging this content. So, we cracking up in here, doggy. So I appreciate you, man. We're going to do some little housekeeping. I've been busy. This shit is coming out. What's today? Saturday, Memorial Day weekend, man. Your draft probably already happened. So for those of you, your draft already happened. You know what I'm saying? Simsalabim, my bad. I don't owe you shit. But you didn't like my video anyway before. So that's on you. No, I'm just playing. But if I get some more likes, I mean, shit, man. This is interactive, dog. I do all this for free. So if you like and comment or some shit, I'll be damn sure I'm going to throw more videos your way. So a little housekeeping, man. I just wanted to take care of that. You know what we're going to be talking about today? I got strategy. I'm going to show you how to build your team. We're going to go over some draft shit. Hopefully your draft is until tomorrow or Monday, which is the Labor Day. Or is that Memorial Day? Shit, I don't even know. Not that I even care. But either way, Monday is the day your draft should be. Or Wednesday, because the first game of the year is on Thursday. And you saw how much stuff happened today. I got some notes. We got McCoy got released from the Bills. We got Jerome Brown released. Davian Clowney traded. Deshaun Watson got Kenny Stills and Laramie Tunsil. Got Carlos Hyde traded. I mean, Gordon got permission to get traded today. So this is why you don't have your draft too early. If you're in a league and you already had your draft, I suggest you contact your owner of your league, the commissioner of your league, and just ask that dude, hey, listen, it's better for us to wait till the last minute to do our draft so we all have a fair shot and we're not sitting there with Duke Johnson or Andrew Luck or Lamar Miller now, you know what I mean? So I suggest if you already had your draft, I mean, still it's my bad because my other competitors, you know, I don't really consider people in the fantasy industry competitors. I kind of consider us all one family because we're not really in competition with each other, in my opinion, because I don't see it that way. So the other people in the industry, you know, they've been putting out videos, and so kudos on them. I've left the ball hanging, the bag hanging, left you hanging, something like that. I left the ball rolling, left the bag out, something like that. But either way, if you like, comment, man, I swear I will keep coming through with more videos. But I need to know that y'all like it because, I mean, I'm not just sitting here just trying to scratch my back, make myself feel better. I already feel good. So either way, man, Max is back. I got my brand new invention. I'm here with you now, and I'm going to let you know that scared money doesn't make money, man. That's what we're all about. So this one's probably going to be a long one because I haven't even done a video, so I'm just going to ramble, jibber jabber. But I'm going to give you the best fantasy content. If you got a draft coming up, this is what you want to hear. And if you already did your draft, oh well, bro. You know what I'm saying? I got to put this shit on wax so that when the shit comes good, you can see it later. You can go back to it. I got the receipts. So we're going to talk about stuff that I did last year, all the calls that I made that were right, some great ones. Like I said, I'm going to talk about strategy. We're also going to talk about how you're going to build your team. Before we get into waivers and all that stuff, week one and shit, let's see what else I got. We're going to go over what we're going to do next week. But right now, man, we going deep, bro. We getting downtown to Boogie Town, so make sure you hit a like on this video just to show your support. Otherwise, you're kind of fucking stingy, if you ask me, man, because your likes don't cost you shit. They don't even really mean shit other than your stand-up dude who gives credit when it's due. So anyways, let's go ahead and get down to some of this stuff here. Where is my... Let's see. First of all, having some beer today, not the coffee. Damn, that shit got warm. I drank too slow. All right, now here's what I'm looking for. This is my bad boy ruler. we've got QB fades, all right? It's a little hard to read. I'm going to explain, all right? And QB fades. Now, you know what fades are, right? You know what a fade is. You're fading people. That means you're really not drafting them. You're going to let them slide till they go so far someone else takes them. You might like them at a certain spot, but they'll never fall to you. So I got QB fades, QB buys, my QB rankings essentially, tight ends, tight end fades, running backs, wide receivers. Got some more fades down here. Make sure you sub if you like fantasy content. I mean, if you like winning, this is the shit you're going to want to hear. So even if you don't dig the production value of this video, if you want to win your league, make sure you subscribe to this channel because I'm going to be hitting you from so many angles. Even though the draft is already over, I could just let this shit slide if I wanted to. But because I'm going to be coming out with the dopest waiver pickups and trades throughout the year, I'm going to go ahead and put this out there so at least I have something to stand on and you guys have some sort of basis. If you haven't had your draft already, I'm glad I got this out so you get a shot at drafting the best players. Because the strategy, you know, a lot of analysts right now, what they do is they're a very common criticism of the analysts are saying right now is that you don't go into your draft deciding what you're going to do already. And while that's pretty much true, that's also not true because you better have a plan for your draft. So let's see what else we got. Fades. Oh, and then my must drafts. Homie, I'm going to drop that on you hard. It's going to be dropping it like it's hot. So, if you're ready to party, I don't even know if you can see this. If you like to party, hit the like button. Let a motherfucker know. Because we're going deep. And, let's see. So let's talk about strategy. All right, this year is the year to go double wide receiver, first and second pick. If you have a top 5 pick, that's you're hamstrung, man. You cannot go wide receiver first. You must go Barkley. Let's see what I got here. Barkley, Zeke, Kamara, and Christian McCaffrey. And then Zeke, you know, I think Zeke's about to sign. We're about a week away from the regular season, so Zeke's about to sign. So those are the top 5. You cannot pick a wide receiver in the top 5, okay? And I'm the biggest wide receiver advocate that there is. As a matter of fact, I'm here to tell you that I've done the analysis of investments. And from an investment perspective, which is what this whole channel and what fantasy football is about for me, it's about investment. So from an investment perspective, I'm going to show you why wide receiver is the most valuable position. And it's going to sound like double talk, but what I'm really going to tell you is that I love the running back position, and that's all about the running back. And that is why you need to get the wide receivers early. You need to pay up early for hot wide receivers. That way you don't have to carry a bunch of them because those middle ground wide receivers will drown your team in waiver yuckiness. All right? You're going to be sitting there. You won't be able to drop a guy because he's too valuable, but you want me to play him because he won't be good enough. You want to stay away from the mid-tier wide receivers. So elite wide receivers will allow you to go for all the running backs that you're going to need. And you know, if you know my style, you know I like the handcuffs. You know I'm anticipating running back injuries. So we're drafting a front-loaded team. This is the strategy, homies. We're not getting into the rankings yet. This is straight strategy. Maybe I should put a link at the bottom so you can skip all this and go right to the rankings. If you're the kind of person who has, you don't have a very big attention span. You really just want to know what you should do. You don't want to know why you should do it. So maybe look below. I don't even know if I'm going to do it, but maybe I'll do it if I remember or if I care. I don't know. Right now it seems like a good idea. But either way, the strategy is to front load your teams. And what I mean by front loading them is having them top heavy so that you have the best starters and your bench is crap. Now that won't start off like that. When you draft, you're going to draft a lot of value and a lot of winners, and there's all kind of good stuff in the draft. But as we go along the season, we make trades, and we continue to front load our team so that our starters are legit, and we continue to suck value from our bench, trade it away with value from our starters to get better starters so that we can upgrade our starters. Because at the end of the day, the way we're going to win this league or your league is by having the best starters. One of my pet peeves is when a guy on your bench goes off. And I friggin' hate that, man. That's like the thing that kills me. I hate when there's 2 or 3 people you can pick from and you don't know who to pick, who's going to go off, you don't know, and you pick the wrong one. And that sucks. So We avoid that by front loading our team. We go high wide receiver. If you get a 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 pick, go ahead and grab a wide receiver first. Don't jump on Kelce. Sorry to tell you, homies, Kelce's not a first round pick. He's a second round pick, but you still shouldn't get him because the value, okay, is high on wide receivers. And there's all kinds of studs you can get later on. But they don't get injured that much. That's why you need to get a couple of top-tier wide receivers so you don't have to draft a whole bunch of middle wide receivers to make up for the fact that you have a weak wide receiver core. You go heavy on wide receivers early. This is the strategy. Why? Because they're more valuable. Okay? Sure, a top-tier running back is more valuable points-wise to a wide receiver, but because the top-tier wide receivers are more rare and they get hurt less often, you need to get 2 of those. That'll probably happen a couple more times. You need to get 2 top-tier wide receivers, so you never have to mess with wide receiver. Man, you don't want to stock a bunch of wide receivers on your bench. Here's the magic number for wide receivers: 4. That's how many you should be getting. 2 elite wide receivers. Pay up, man. Pay up. Don't be cheap. Don't try to get value. This isn't bargain basement shopping. This isn't the 99-cent store. You aren't going to win your league drafting 99-cent store. You're not going for value yet. There's a spot in the draft you're going for value. In the middle, in the top, you're trying to get safe picks. People you know they're not going to. They're likely going to get. They're not likely going to get hurt. They're definitely going to be the type of wide receiver that there is getting fed. You're not going to go for a running back in the first couple rounds, okay? The only way you go for a running back, you have a top 4 pick, then of course you have to pick Saquon, Christian McCaffrey, Zeke, and Kamara in the first 4 picks. You just have to. That means if you get one of those 4 picks, on your second round, you must pick wide receiver. You must. Okay? And then your third pick, man, I think you should go wide receiver too. I think you should go wide receiver in your second and your third pick. If you have a top 4 pick, you picked a running back in your first round. Second round, you come back, you can get yourself like an Antonio Brown, a Mike Evans, something like that. Now, if you're unfortunate in that second round, all the top 9 wide receivers will be gone. So these are the top 9 right here. We got, where are we at? Oh, yeah. Julio Jones, Devante Adams, and Hopkins. That's your top 3 tier right there. That's a tier. Okay, Julio, Adams, and Hopkins, your top 3 wide receivers. In that order, in my opinion, but they can go in any order, really. Then you got Juju, Tyreek Hill, Mike Thomas, and then Mike Evans, AB, and then Odell Beckham Jr. is last. And I'll get into these rankings here in just a minute, but I want you to know, you need, like, if you can get 2 of these, homie, you're going to be set. You're going to be ready, because during the season, all the waiver wire picks will really set people apart. If you do good on the waiver wire picks, you can make trades, and then those trades turn into your team that wins. And so you gotta have room on your bench for waivers, man. You can't just fill up your team with a bunch of wide receivers. Now, if you wait and you don't get these, when you end up getting wide receivers in the bottom range, now you need like 4, 5, 6 wide receivers because you don't know who's going to pop, and you've got to take more chances. You can't afford to spend 6 wide receiver spots and your bench. Man, homie, they're not even going to get injured. They're just going to sit there all year and suck value off your bench. But running backs get hurt all the fucking time. So you need all the backups. You got the good handcuffs, man. Look at my handcuff list, boy. It is deep. And that is how you're going to win. And there's not a whole lot of people out there who are teaching this. They do talk handcuffs. Yeah, we all talk the same shit. But they're not telling you straight up, you need to get 2 top-end wide receivers and leave those bench spots for the handcuffs, man. And the only guy actually out there I know that's drafting similar to me, he's not quite on my level. And Smitty, I love you, homie, but this is for you. This might sound like a diss, but this is respect, homie. I don't be giving people shine on my channel. Smitty knows what he's doing, and he's the closest to me as far as strategy. He's got a little ways to go, and I know because I just did a draft with him. We're in a league together. So that's how I know he's not there yet, homie, but he's as good as I've seen. I mean, there's a couple other people that I think are amazing, like Dave Richard, whatever his name is, homie. That dude's legit. He's on CBS. You should check him out. We got Smitty. That's the fantasy football show, he calls his channel, I think. So I like him. And so these are the people that I recommend to you. and that understand the way I draft. And the way I draft, my friends, has been killing it for years. And I'm kind of disappointed. A lot of people are starting to figure this shit out, so it kind of sucks. Because I was in a draft with this dude the other day, and like all my picks were gone. But in regular drafts, they're there, and in your draft, they're going to be there too. So, talking about the strategy is you want to go get yourself the winning tight end, a high-end quarterback, but you want to wait for the quarterback. Why? You got to maximize your bench for running backs, and that's really what I want to teach you in the strategy build, how to build your team so that you know who to pick up. If you have, let's say you got Hopkins and AB, right? Like you got two of these top 9 wide receivers. Homie, you don't even have to touch another wide receiver for like 10 rounds. 7, 8, 9, 10 rounds. You only need a third and a fourth to back them up. Okay, 2 top-tier wide receivers just gives you all the flexibility you need to have all those extra waiver spots you don't have to waste on mid-tier tight ends. I mean, mid-tier wide receivers. Now you can pick up the handcuffs. Throughout the season, running backs are getting hurt, man. Okay, we don't root for running backs. We don't root for anybody to get hurt, but that's the nature of this business, and we're investing our picks. We're investors. You guys are junior investors, homie. If you're not, well, you could be old for all I know. But I imagine most people in fantasy are probably younger because it's just catching on. So I like to talk to older people though, because this channel, we don't deal with all the Muppets and the puppies and the puppets and all the robots and shit they do on ESPN. It's like they're marketing to like 10-year-olds. It's kind of embarrassing, man. I like to watch Matthew Berry. I like it. Like, it's entertaining. I think he's kind of funny, but his fantasy analysis is so bad, I literally don't watch him anymore because I don't want to be influenced. Even though I like his show for entertainment purposes, so I literally want to watch it and I don't watch it because it's just that bad. Okay, he's only bad compared to industry experts, so I don't want to make it seem like he sucks. Just like an NFL player is a great athlete, but he could suck in comparison to the other experts or the other professionals. So in the professional world, man, Matthew Berry's analysis is whack, homie. But if he happens to catch this, my apologies. But, man, you should apologize to me for all that bad advice you've been giving me. I mean, it's just being straight. When it comes to comedy, you're probably better than me. When it comes to fantasy, you can't touch me, Mr. Berry, all right? It's pretty crazy because he's never going to see this. Anyway, so early is where you got to go safe. People want to go winning their league in the first round, and you got to go safe. And then you start going for value, and then at the end you go for upside. So let's get into some of this stuff right now, all right? Let's talk. All right, this is a serious subject. This is probably going to be a long video. You already know how long it's going to be because you can see the time, and I have no idea because I'm just going to blab until I get as much of the information out as I can. But this is my QB section here. These are fades, okay? Fading means we're not drafting them. We're letting them ride past their ADP. Someone else is going to get them. And these are all the people I think are good, but doesn't mean you should draft them, all right? For instance, this, you probably can't read it because my pen is running out of ink, but this says Mahomes, okay? But you should not be drafting Mahomes. You do not need a quarterback in the first 4 to 5 rounds. Okay? This isn't just some old school guy going, oh, we never take quarterbacks early. The fact is it's not worth it. That's the bottom line. If you took a quarterback early last year, did you get Mahomes? No. If you took a quarterback early the year before, did you get Deshaun Watson? No. If you took a quarterback the year before that, did you get Carson Wentz? No. These are late round quarterbacks that blow up and become the number one. And that's the same thing this year. Listen, I love Mahomes. He's great. As a matter of fact, I think he could even improve. A lot of people think he's bound for regression because he had such a great year. He missed a bunch of touchdowns. The guy could have done even better. And if you take him in the first round, I got you, man. You're a new age thinker. You're free. You're not all tied into. I love that. I love that aspect of it. But don't play with me because the investment is not there. You want to take Mahomes in the first, second, third round? Guess what, homie? You tripping, dog. You tripping. Okay, that was last year. Now we're in this year. So even though I love him, I'm not trying. He's not in my fade list. I'm not saying fade him. Actually, I am kind of saying fade him if you think about it. You know what? Fuck it. I'm gonna fade his ass. Mahomes, all right, he really should go be. He's at the top. I mean, he's the number one quarterback, but I'm not drafting him. Now, if Watson falls to you in the 6th, that's a no-brainer. It's a no-brainer. If he falls to you in the 5th, now, he's a friggin' league winner for you, but you're passing on some league winners. See, in the first 4 rounds, they're all league winners. So when you reach for a quarterback, you're going to get a legit quarterback anywhere in the draft, man. I got quarterbacks going all the way in the last round that can compete with Mahomes. Now, are they going to beat him? I don't know. Probably not. But they'll be right there, man. When you divide up the difference between Mahomes and, let's go Winston. Divide up the difference between Mahomes and Winston. It won't be much, but 50 points across, 15 games? That's nothing, man. That's about 3 points a game to spend your top pick when you can get Winston in the 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th. I mean, it's just an example. I'm not even recommending Winston, but I'm not against him. I think he's a great pick. But you can go even later. That's how deep it is, man. You can't, as an investor, here's the bottom line. If this was money, you better not be buying Mahomes. If this was money, you better be waiting for a quarterback. The only reason why I might grab Deshaun Watson and spend up early on a quarterback is because he could go in round 5 or 6. That's a big difference from 1 or 2, like Mahomes, okay? Mahomes and Deshaun Watson are neck and fucking neck. I don't care what anybody says. They are neck and neck, especially now they got Duke Johnson. So he's a pass-catching running back. Great pass-catching running back. That's going to increase the passes. That's going to increase how many yards Deshaun Watson gets. On top of that, they just got Carlos Hyde, who sucks. Let me be on record and say that he's busted. Okay, he's a busted running back. His days in the NFL are numbered because he's super inefficient. That's just going to mean Deshaun Watson has to throw even more. And then we're already a throwing team. See, some teams are throwing teams, some teams are running teams, and some teams are just like blended in the middle and you can't really tell what they're going to be. The Texans are a throwing team. Okay, and the fact that they just lost Lamar Miller and added Carlos Hyde means they're going to be throwing even more. And the better news is now Duke Johnson is taking the 3rd down reps. He's guaranteed to get the 3rd down reps. He might get 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. We don't know where the pecking order is going to be once Hyde gets over there, but we know Hyde's not taking 3rd down, right? We know what's his name? Duke is getting the 3rd downs. So that's better for Deshaun. This is all, and then they got Laramie Tunsil, who's a top-notch tackle. So finally, they had to do that, right? So Deshaun Watson is going to have a good year, but he has to fall. I mean, he's going to fall at least the 5th, unless you have someone in your league who just loves him like I do. They might reach and get him. But the 5th and 6th, man, if I was you, I was grabbing the 5th. I'm cool with that. I don't love it. It kind of depends on who else is there, but I'm not too mad at you. All the players in top 4 rounds are legit. So that's what you have to keep in mind. Okay, so what do you do after round 4? That's really going to set you apart. The top 4 rounds, all you can do is lose it. You can either not lose it or lose it. You can't win it in the first 4 rounds. You can only fucking lose it. So that's why you can't be a sucker and be grabbing all the players like DeAndre Hopkins at pick number 3 or 4. Like, don't do that. Last year, I was all over DeAndre Hopkins at pick 8, and that was considered crazy talk or just taking a wide receiver too early. And that was at pick 8. Now, he overproduced. And now some of y'all are picking him at 4, 5, 6. Nah, man. Nah, all right, it doesn't work like that. They got Kiki Cutie. They just signed up Kenny Stills. They got Fuller. Like, DeAndre Hopkins is a great wide receiver, but in fantasy, you cannot be taking this dude in the top 5 picks. All right, now, from 5 to 10, man, all these guys, wait, where are they at? Oh, wide receivers over here. All these guys in the top 9, man, you can't go wrong, all right? They're elite. You can get just one of them and you're good. You get 2 of them, man, you are fire. You're on fire. I'm straight up about that. Now, if you can do that, you get yourself two top wide receivers, or maybe just one. And if one of these other ones, a lot of times in the 2nd round, AB and Mike Evans don't fall to you. If you got, let's say, Saquon at 1, 2, or 3, chances are you might not even get Antonio Brown or Mike Evans. But if you can, let me talk in. Look, man, I got so much to talk about. How are we going to get this done so quickly, man? Damn. So I should have made more videos. But look, all right, where are we going here? All right, let's start with Julio, okay? Julio is a legit talent, kind of like a Megatron, okay? You can look at people in their situation, and you look at people in talent. Situation is almost always more important, but Julio Jones is an elite talent. He's an elite wide receiver who, even in a bad year, is not going to leave you hanging too bad. He's safe, and what are we looking for in the first couple rounds? Safe. So, that's why he's top. Devante Adams leads the league in end zone targets. Okay, he's going to be there for Aaron Rodgers, and Aaron Rodgers looks for him in the end zone. They're never going to turn into a running team. I don't care who's there. They got Aaron Rodgers. They turn into a running team. That'd be a huge coaching mistake because you got Aaron Rodgers. Why would you start running the ball? I mean, you got to run on some, right? But you can't turn into a running team unless you have a top star running back. And even though Aaron Jones is really good, you can't put Aaron Rodgers handing the ball off all game. You know, I'm just saying you got to use him more often than you use your running backs because that's your best player. This thing just keeps going off. I don't even know how to get it to go off. But anyways, let's get to see. Juju's legit, homie. I know all the stuff about he's the number 2 and can he handle the number 1? Stop it, okay? He's an NFL wide receiver who's getting all the balls that Antonio Brown used to get. Trust me, he's lock. Tyreek Hill is a boom or bust type player. I really don't have him that, even though he ended last year as number 1. The reason why he's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5th on this list is because of those bust weeks. You're not really trying to win your league, like I said in the first couple rounds, trying to make sure you don't lose it. So he's a great pick, okay, but there is some bust and boom factor going on week to week with him. So, and then Mike Thomas, I like him a lot, but they did just bring in Jared Cook, who's going to suck away some of those middle tier targets that Mike Thomas gets. And Drew Brees is not really a great deep ball thrower anymore. He's got great touch, but he's got a little of the sauce is off his ball now. So that mid-range is where he's just killing people. And that's what he used Michael Thomas. Michael Thomas was killing it last year. I was surprised. And he wasn't making no big bombs. He wasn't doing anything like that. He was just catching those mid-range passes all game long. Now they got Jared Cook. That's exactly what Jared Cook does. People think Jared Cook is an average wide receiver. Let me tell you something. He's a legit wide receiver. He's a wide receiver in a tight end body. He can line up on the outside. He causes mismatches. And last year with Coach John Gruden on the Raiders was the first year a coach really saw that he was that type of receiver and used him in that way. If you check back on some of my videos, I want to go over with you in a little while that from last year that Jared Cook, I told you, man, he's here. He's here. Gruden said, this is what I want to do, and that's exactly what he did. So now he's perceived as a wide receiver threat, and guess what? The Saints went and got him. So the Saints are going to use him. Is it going to be Jimmy Graham 2.0? Nah, man. Come on. Jimmy Graham was different. He jumps up way high points the ball. He's a better athlete than Cook is, but Cook is a great wide receiver at the tight end position. So if you miss out on the top tight ends, he's your last. You can see I got a line right here under Cook. You can barely see it because that's the end of the tier. Cook is the last guy of the line, man. You don't even want Cook. I'll take Cook if I miss out on one of my studs, but man, I don't want Cook. You know what I'm saying? But he's better than all these other guys, even Kittle and Ertz, because of their draft position. No, man, look, no, I don't want Jared. Of course, I would trade away Jared Cook to get Kittle if I had a straight up trade, but I'm getting Jared Cook at like the 7th, 8th round. Homie, I already got a loaded team by then. I'm good. Jared Cook has all kind of upside. I'm happy with him, but I wish I had my guy up here. Okay, so you see that there's Kittle and Ertz down here. Kittle last year was a perfect storm. Do I expect him to get it? Nope. I don't expect another return. They went and recruited like 3 wide receivers, re-signed Pettis. They kept Pettis. They got Goodwin from last year. Plus they drafted Deebo Samuel, and they got, man, who knows what's going to happen with this team this year? And Kittle is an injury risk. Sorry, y'all. I hate to bring the rain down on your parade. And I like Kittle. I love tight ends. I've always been a guy who drafts tight ends early. But I'm an investor, okay? And the values have changed. And that's year to year, values change. And this year, the value is past Ertz and Kittle and above Jordan Howard. And then let me talk about Jordan Howard. I'm going to throw some shade on Jordan Howard. A lot of people have him as like the super stud. Let me tell you something, man. All right? Cameron Brate is still there. Yeah, I know, man. Cameron Brate's still fucking there. Not only that, he's got a 6-year contract. He's a good player. So if you think that doesn't matter, I mean, you must be one of those dudes that think that Doyle didn't matter, because Doyle definitely siphoned targets from Ebron. If Doyle wasn't there last year, Ebron would have been a top 5 tight end. So am I saying Jordan Howard is a beast, right? Yeah, Jordan Howard, he's a beast. The dude is a freak. Okay, but if if there wasn't Cameron Brate and Godwin and Evans all there, then I'd probably be a little higher on him. But I don't want to come to my team and find out, oh cool, look, Evans got a touchdown, Godwin got a touchdown. That's cool, but Jordan Howard didn't. Or what's his name? Shit, his name isn't even Jordan Howard, is it? Something Howard, whatever. I'm in a brain fart. It don't really matter. You know who the hell I'm talking about. There's only one Howard who's the tight end. And so all these are basically people you want to stay away from. Now, Kelce is legit, but you don't want to pay top tier money for a tight end. Now, Engram. Here's the problem with Engram. It's not a bad team. He's got a bad schedule. Besides that, he looks great. So I like Engram and I like Cook, but here's the guy you really want, man. Hunter Henry. All right, let me see. I got some notes here. I'm going to go over some of these notes here. And Hunter Henry, just to give you an idea, last year the Chargers were using their tight end at a clip of about 8 targets a game. Now, 8 targets a game is right around Kelce and Kittle and Ertz territory. Okay, they don't even get eight a game. 8 a game is the thing for wide receivers. You get 8 targets. Okay, what they do with those targets, that changes game to game. 8 targets, what you're looking for. The Chargers average 8 targets. If you could get Kittle, Ertz, or Kelce in the 5th or 6th round, you do it, right? Well, that's what we're looking at with Hunter Henry. And like I said, I'm an investor, so I don't hate Kittle. I love Kittle. I'm just throwing a little shade on him because you got to pick him in the 2nd round. You know what I'm saying? I'm only throwing a little shade on Ertz because you got to pick him in the 2nd round. There's a couple of more factors to it. Ertz as far as there's Dallas Goedert is there to siphon a couple targets. Not a big deal, but they just brought in Deshaun Jackson. They just got a new running back. Plus they got Alshon Jeffrey. Okay, so they're going to spread the ball around a lot. And I don't think this year's going to be like last year with Ertz. I think it'd be great, don't get me wrong, but to spend a 2nd or 3rd round pick on Ertz with some question marks there and an injury history, don't forget, when I can wait a couple rounds and get Hunter Henry, yeah, man, that's what I'm doing every single time. So now, if you miss out on Cook, you are fucked. I mean, there's some good. I'm going to give you some sleepers today that are in the tight end position, but don't get it twisted, homie. Like, last year's Kittle was a fluke. You think you're going to find another Kittle this year? It could happen, and I think I got him, but I don't know for sure, man. You know what I mean? These guys are for sure. The guys I got down here, well, where are we at? Well, I'll show, they're over here. These are my winners right here, must draft. So I got my tight end in there. And then, so, you don't want any of these guys. Let's go down. I threw some shade on Kittle, Ertz, and O.J. Howard. Now I remember his name. Ebron, I don't have to throw shade on him, right? Y'all know Luck is gone, plus there's Doyle, yada, yada. So he could have a good year. Maybe Brissett likes the tight end. Who knows? But we don't know, right? We're on the outside looking in, so we can't mess with them. Njoku, let me throw shade on Njoku, okay? He wasn't good last year. That was before OBJ came there. Okay, and when they had Josh Gordon and Landry and all that, he didn't do good. They lost Gordon, he didn't do good. Now they got OBJ, nothing's going to change, okay? There's too many mouths to feed in the Browns, and they want to run the ball. No, stay away from Njoku. Stay away from, let's talk about Hockenson and Fant. Okay, I don't care how good these guys are. The bottom line is they're rookies. When was the last rookie tight end you saw that made a difference? They made a real difference in fantasy on your team. I can't even remember one. Okay, a rookie. Still got to learn. You as a tight end, you have to block. You have to catch like a wide receiver. You have to block like a lineman. You have a lot of responsibilities as a tight end. You can't usually get that in your first year and then produce enough points to make yourself valuable in fantasy and outproduce all these studs who've been veterans. It's just not going to happen. If you've taken Hockenson or Fant, you're in deep shit, homie, straight up. All right, Burton. I was on Burton last year. He burned me pretty bad. That was one of my worst calls last year. I am not doing that again. I learned my lesson. I watched the Bears very closely last year, and here's the situation, man. You don't want any of their pass catchers. You don't want the tight end. You don't want the wide receivers, but you do want the quarterback, and you do want the running back. Okay. So that's my opinion on the Bears. So you want to stay away from Burton, Goedert. Okay, Goedert's okay, but even if Ertz gets hurt and Goedert gets a spot, yeah, you got to pick him up. He's going to be a great app. But just to throw a little shade on there, homies, I'm already down on Ertz. So if he gets hurt, how much you going to be in on the backup? They still got Jeffrey and Jackson and Miles Sanders, and they still got all these new parts, and I don't want a lot of that. Okay, I'm still trying to win. I don't play around with my quarterback, and I don't play around with my tight end. Those are the two like finicky positions you kind of got to reach for and get a good one, the one that you want. And that's what I want to talk about at some point is front loading your team. You got to get the player that you want, and we'll do that over the course of the season through trades. And so by the end of the season, you're gonna have the worst bench, but the best starters. That's what we're going to work on as we go through. So, and I'm going to throw a little more shade on here. That's what I'm going to do. Most of this is shade, homies. You know what I'm saying? So, Vance McDonald, oh, man, I can't wait to throw shade on this. This is a joke, okay? You know the story. I've never seen Ben Roethlisberger throw to the tight end. You could give him a Jesse James. You could give him a, man, I can't remember who the tight ends are. They've had some good tight ends there, but we don't know who they are because they never get the ball. Now, this is the same coach, the same quarterback. All of a sudden, they're just going to start lighting up the tight end, huh? Yeah, they had all kind of great tight ends, but they never use them. But this year, they're going to start, right? Nah, all right? It's going to be the same offense with different players, and all the players in the same positions are going to score. You know, Juju's going to get a lot of points. You know, James Washington, Moncrief, you know, the running backs. They got Jalen Samuels and Connor. Like, come on, man. You're going to be screwed if you settle down with Vance Johnson. Or Vance Johnson. Everybody got the last name Johnson. Vance McDonald is a no-go, like a serious no-go. You see he's ranked all the way down here. And then Kyle Rudolph, throw some shade on that bad boy too. He's a good player, but he's not a dynamic athlete compared to the other tight ends that we're really referring to. And he's a good blocker. He's good at everything. He's not great at anything. And also that offense has two Pro Bowl wide receivers that they want to get the ball to, and they want to run the ball. Plus they got Madison, and you know, you don't want Rudolph, all right? So I think we just covered tight ends. I wonder how long that took me. I'm gonna take a look at this camera and see. Damn, it took me 37 minutes just to get to this point. Maybe I should cut this off. Come back with the rest. Let's see. Well, man, you know what? Screw it. We're going to let it roll. All right, let's go over some wide receivers now. I kind of touched on everything. That's why I can't just stop it, really. I mean, I might as well just finish it off. Mahomes, Watson is the target. These are all wide receivers I like. I like them. I'm not saying draft them, though. That's a big distinction because I'm going to tell you who to draft right now, but these are the ones I like. These are the ones I don't like. So let's talk about the ones I don't like for a second. Rodgers. Oh, you don't like Aaron Rodgers. No, man, he's a good pickup, but for his ADP, we got a brand new coach coming from the Titans. The head coach of the Titans, or the offensive coordinator for the Titans. Now he's the head coach of the Packers? What sense does that make? What did the Titans do last year? Titans had Marcus Mariota, who was terrible. Why would you get that guy to coach your team when you got Aaron fucking Rodgers? I mean, the Bears got Trubisky, who's raw, and they go out and get a super offensive guru. Why didn't they do that for Aaron Rodgers? He's the best quarterback in the game. One up, all right? But they didn't do that. No, they went and got some guy who was a mediocre. Actually, mediocre is a compliment. He did terrible last year. Come on, man. The Titans were brutal last year. And at the end, you know, Derrick Henry caught fire, but Aaron Rodgers doesn't play running back. You know what I mean? So anyway, I'm off Rodgers. I want to see it first. Just because you're a great player, you got a new head coach. A new head coach is a big deal. Carson Wentz. All right, listen. I like Carson Wentz. So things got Carson Wentz are good. They got a lot of pass catchers. They got a lot of weapons. They got a great offensive line. And here's the biggest thing: they throw a lot of passes. They're a high tempo team. Like, they're not like running to the sprinting to the line, but they put out more pass plays than other teams do. Okay. And here's another thing: when they get in the red zone, they throw the ball. They're not running the ball. Maybe that's why they got Jordan Howard this year, so they could run it in the end zone. But in the last year and year before, When they got in the red zone, they threw the ball. That means touchdowns are going to Wentz. So he's going to get all the yards from the whole field. Plus, when they get in the red zone, where a lot of teams will run the ball, like the Chargers would give it to Melvin Gordon over and over and over when they got in the red zone. Now, Wentz, you know, I don't know, man. I'm staying away from him. He's got injury risks, and I got later players that I can get are just as valuable, have just the same kind of stats, just the same kind of upside, but they don't cost as much. So let's talk about Big Ben. Off Big Ben, don't know why you'd be on him. Too many questions, all new, bunch of new parts, and at the same time, man, it's the Pittsburgh Steelers. It just seems like they always know who to grab. They have the great talent at all the positions. But again, you still kind of got to go high. It's funny how it bounced back and forth. I wanted to go over all the bust factors first and then go over these, but it's bounced back and forth. All right. Sticking with Wentz, even though I got him on a fade, it's because of his injury history and because I can get someone better later. So Cam Newton. What made Cam great was his physical ability to run the ball, truck people, especially in the end zone, and he was the running back and the quarterback. And so that allowed him to be so studly. And I've been a huge Cam supporter basically his whole career. As soon as his first year was over, I didn't support him his first year until I saw how good he was. Then I was all in. And now I'm all out. And the reason is because he's been hurt now. Now he has to take it easy and start picking people apart from the pocket. That's not his game. And even if he does a good job, he's never going to be the Cam of old. The whole Superman thing, that's over, dog. That's over. Okay? So, no. I'm not on Cam this year. Even though the one good thing I will say, they got a couple of good playmakers on the outside. They like to dump it to McCaffrey and as kind of a running play, and then Cam gets all those credit for that as a pass. So in one way, kind of McCaffrey feeds Cam. So that's one positive. But overall, I'm off of Cam because he's not the beast that he used to be physically, and he'd be smart to take some less hits. You know, that's what he should do to try to win. So Cam, Brees. You know, Brees died. I like Brees. Don't love him, especially at his ADP. Wilson, no thank you. Super efficient, but not prolific. Kyle Murray, I don't like that offense. I love the fact they're going to run a bunch of plays. That's fantasy gold. But I don't like the college offense. I don't think they're going to do a good job. I don't like the shortness. I'm one of those haters that think you're too short, dog. You know, and when I watched those preseason games, he kept getting his passes batted down. I think other players take it personal when a little dude is in there. And then, you know, he has to prove it to me. Let's just say that. A rookie quarterback, you think I'm going in on a rookie quarterback? No. I don't care if they got Larry Fitzgerald, David Johnson, and they got a terrible offensive line for one. But two, the coach is unproven. The quarterback is unproven. Like, why would you go with a team and draft a quarterback who's a rookie with a rookie head, basically a rookie head coach? No, thank you. Not a chance am I doing that with my quarterback. I need a lock. I need a lock. All right. And I'm sorry, but Kyler Murray's not a lock. You know, I know he puts on all. They're going to throw the ball a ton. They're going to use that short passing game instead of a run game. And when David Johnson gets the ball, it's going to be a little short dump off a lot of times. They're going to do a lot of controlled passing, and that should equate to a ton of stats for Kyler Murray. But I want to see it first, man. I'm an investor, homie. I'm not here to throw my shit away. I want to see it first. I know the numbers say it should be good, but I want to see it first. I'm not going in on rookies. I'm not going on the rookies unless they're a running back. Rivers, man, he's got a lot of good. I like Rivers, but I don't love him. He's on my fade list because his arm is not that good, in my opinion. And that's pretty much all I'm going to say about that. Dak Prescott, I don't really need to go into him. Now, let's get into the wins, quarterback wins, all right? The quarterback buys. Matt Ryan, no-brainer. I'm not buying him. He's a no-brainer great player this year. He's definitely going to do a good job. I mean, anybody could get hurt. We're not talking injuries. Anybody could get hurt, so that's not a guarantee. But besides that, there's absolutely no reason why he would not finish. He's got his wide receivers are amazing. They just drafted 2 top tackles or 2 top offensive linemen to improve. Plus, they still got Dante Freeman coming back, totally healthy. He's primed, man. The only problem is he's going too early. Okay, last year was the year to get Matt Ryan. And I called him last year too, so I get credit for that one. But this year, he's just going too early. We're going to get our money down here, baby, because we're buyers, we're investors, we're not suckers. Now, Goff. I love Goff. All right. The only thing I don't like about Goff, he doesn't run. He's got a trio of wide receivers, and they just drafted Darrell Henderson, who's a great playmaker catching the ball. On top of that, Gurley's not going to be as involved, so they're going to need to throw the ball more. And they're not just going to give it to Gurley to close out the clock and run it down their throat. So all those wide receivers, Goff has a fantastic schedule, especially early. So I like Goff. I'm not saying I love him, but you're talking about getting him in like the double-digit rounds, like the 10th round. So that's a freaking steal in the 10th round. Jared Goff, homie, with Cooks, Kupp, and Woods, and Gurley, and Henderson. Dog, that's a steal. That's a steal. That's my first person I'm considering buying after Deshaun Watson. So if I miss on Deshaun Watson, I don't really consider it a miss. I'm just saying if he doesn't fall to me, I continue right on drafting my other winners, and when Goff comes up, I take a look at the round. If it's a late round, I'm like, cool, I'm in. But if I don't like him, let's say there's another player I really want to grab instead of Goff, because I'm not partial to Goff, I just think he's a great value, I'll go ahead and pick the other player and come back around. Lamar Jackson's a steal this year, but is he going to stay healthy? He's skinny. He's not a big quarterback like Cam Newton. He doesn't truck people. He's skinny. When he gets hit, he's going to go be knocked off his feet. He's going to go flying. He doesn't get hit very hard because he's so fast. But when he does, you might need a backup quarterback. So I like Lamar Miller, but you got to be prepared to back him up. And I don't like that commitment. I don't like knowing that I have to now draft a backup because my quarterback is such an injury risk. And at least Cam, he's big. He can take those hits, or at least he used to be able to. Lamar Jackson, he ain't busting over nobody. He ain't trucking nobody and breaking out Superman. Okay, he's not doing that. He might be lightning in a bottle, but he's not trucking anybody. And when he does get hit, it's not going to be pretty, especially at the speed he travels. And now we're going on to Brady, how he has fallen. Man, come on. The dude has Josh Gordon. And I'm going to tell you right now, Josh Gordon is the business. Besides that, Tom Brady could win using a defensive back as a wide receiver. He can make Julian Edelman look like a star. He can make, he's made players look like stars, and he's taken stars and made them who they were. Like Randy Moss was a star before he got there. Well, Tom Brady used him pretty good. He exercised that stardom that he had. So he's great at utilizing the stars he has, and he's also good at making people who are pretty good into great players based on the passes right at the money. The open guy always gets the ball. You know how Tom Brady does it. So with Gordon on his side, I like him. I like him a lot. So anyways, I'm probably not taking him, but I like him. Okay? And then Trubisky, he's the last guy on this tier. These lines that you'll see, that's where the tier kind of ends. And you're going to think I'm probably crazy for putting Trubisky up here. But what I know about the Bears offense, homie, let me go over Trubisky with you a little bit. Okay? This guy only played 13 games in college. Then he played 18 games total last year and the year before, because he played some games with, what's that coach, John Fox, who's terrible offensively, or he's a defensive coach. And last year was his first year under Coach Nagy. He only played 13 games in college, so he's raw, right? Well, Nagy is an offensive guru, so he's a pass-happy coach. He's kind of like Andy Reid or the coach of the Eagles, okay? Nagy came from the Chiefs. He's implementing the Chiefs' offense. Guys, the Chiefs' offense is the #1 offense in the league. Okay. Now, of course, Trubisky's not Mahomes, but he's good. He's actually pretty good. He's not great, but he's good. In that offense, he's great, okay? So, besides the new, last year when he only had, I think it was 7 or 8 games with Nagy. 7 games, actually. 7 games in a brand new system with a brand new coach. Let me tell you something, man. In those 7 games, dude had a game where he scored 6 touchdowns. And he missed like 2 more touchdowns in that game with wide open people. He could have had like 8 touchdowns in a single game. He scored 42 points. The next 43 points. Next week he scored 27. Next week he scored 31. This is a freaking guy who's brand new to the NFL. He only didn't even play more than 1 year in college. Okay, so this guy is raw and he makes mistakes, but he's got an offensive coach as a guru, and they're running the Philadelphia Eagles / Kansas City Chiefs offense. So, there's a reason why Coach Nagy got the Coach of the Year last year. It's because all those cool, creative plays. He likes to pass the ball. And a lot of times he fucks up because he should run the ball from a coaching perspective. But for you and me, man, we're doing passing. We want Trubisky to get points. That's gravy, baby. Plus he runs the ball. Oh, my God. The floor is high, and the ceiling is even higher. Okay, you're talking about a 42-point game where he missed 2 touchdowns. That's the kind of upside we're talking about with Trubisky. His floor is high. Especially this year now, this is his second year. Okay, now he's not a partier, he's not a dummy. I looked him up a little bit. He turned off all of his social media. He's like all in, and I just have a feeling him and Nagy are on the same page. And their wide receivers are absolutely their wide receivers. The 2 years ago when Trubisky was under Coach Fox, they had no wide receivers, none. They didn't even have Allen Robinson. They were brutal. He was throwing to I don't even remember one of the receivers. That's how bad it was. Then they got Allen Robinson, Taylor Gabriel, and then they got Anthony Miller, and they got Riley Ridley, and they got they are loaded at wide receiver. Okay, and then they went and got Montgomery. So he's a pass-catching running back. Plus they got Cohen. They got rid of Howard. So now there's going to be more catches to the running backs. Guess who's getting credit for those? Trubisky again. So keeping in mind that last year was a lot of Jordan Howard. This year's going to be a lot of David Montgomery and a lot of passing. And I think Trubisky will be much more comfortable this year. I think the offensive line is going to be better. Running backs are better. Wide receivers are better. Like, this offense is primed. This team is probably going to the Super Bowl because they're loaded. Wait till I tell you about their defense. I mean, this team is absolutely freaking loaded, and the only question mark is Trubisky. And I'm thinking that's not much of a question mark because he's got Nagy right in his ear the whole game, and it's going to be a massacre, homie. This was going to happen right here with Trubisky, and the reason why now he's not so much better than any of these guys. It's just his price. He's around the same neighborhood. Remember, last year Mahomes was going 11th round. Year before that, Wentz. Year before that, Watson. Or was it the other way around? I think it was Watson, then Wentz. Either way, they were all going 10th, 11th, 12th, 13th round. Now, this year, you're going to go draft Mahomes? Well, last year, you probably drafted the top guy then, too. Well, how'd that do? How did Rodgers do for you last year? So I'm just saying, man, it's the late QB game. That's what we're in here. Check the time on this bad boy. Oh, shit, bro. A fucking hour almost. We're at 52 minutes. All right. I haven't even got into my must drafts. Went there. You know what? I didn't finish off. I like Cousins, Jimmy G, and Josh Allen. If you miss out or need a backup, I mean, it's kind of self-explanatory. Cousins got Diggs and Thielen, and Cook is a pass-catching running back. I mean, he looks good this year. I'm not saying he doesn't got that legs, and he's a bad year last year. So there's some question marks, but he's a pretty good investment. Jimmy G's a great investment, especially as a backup quarterback. Especially if you get a running quarterback like Lamar Jackson, you need to go grab, your backup, and it'll still be Trubisky for me because he'll be in this range, ADP wise, where he's getting drafted. But value wise, where he's going to end up, I think he could be a top 5 quarterback. He's definitely a top 10 quarterback. He was a top 12 quarterback last year. That was, like I said, with brand new system, all that kind of stuff. And then Josh Allen's got the great legs, the big arm. Not really a big fan, but by that time you're already screwed over if you fall into Josh Allen. And then in double quarterback leagues, or if you get a guy that gets hurt, guys that I keep my eye on, that I have like on my watch list, Carr. And I know a lot of people aren't going to believe in Carr. Why should you believe in Carr? There's no reason for you to believe in Carr. But here's the thing. John Gruden specifically told us last year the kind of offense he wants to run. And he told the truth. He told us he wants to run an offense high-powered. He wants to be the Chiefs, Eagles type of offense. He literally said that. He also said he was going to take Jared Cook and make him into a wide receiver like he really was, because he believed in Jared Cook. And that's exactly what he did. So then he went out and got Antonio Brown this year. So I think he's fucking serious, man. He really wants to throw the ball. And not only that, he said last week he wants to throw it deep. Why? Because he's got Antonio Brown. He said now he's got Antonio Brown. He wants to throw deep. So, am I saying you should take Carr over somebody? No, man. I'm just saying he's better than, like, the public opinion. It was like, a Carr, I don't believe in Carr. Like, of course you don't. Of course you don't believe in Carr. He's hard to trust. But there's a lot of reasons to think it could happen. Antonio Brown. All right, now, while I'm on that, let me jump, because I'm on the Raiders, to... Dang, did I not put him up here? All right, well, his name is Waller. I think his first name is Darren. Something Waller. He's a tight end. Sleeper, baby. I know I got him on here somewhere. Oh, he's on here somewhere. But Waller, he's the tight end. He's taking over for Jared Cook. Nobody knows who he is. But he's an athlete. He's a badass athlete. And if he gets used like Jared Cook, he's a hell of a sleeper at tight end. So if you screw up, and if you get snaked on your guy, and you get past Jared Cook, and you're screwed. Now you can start thinking about, Darren Waller. I think his name is Darren. Anyways, Waller. And then there's another one. His name is Jordan Thomas. You need to know about Jordan Thomas, because Jordan Thomas is on a team. I'm going to tell you what the team is. You probably don't even know. I can tell you the guy's name. You probably don't even know what team he's on. That's how deep this sleeper is. But he's on a team that's not been using the tight end, but has been wanting to use the tight end. And they got this tight end, it didn't work out. They got that tight end, it didn't work out. And so nobody thinks they really like the tight end. But in reality, they haven't been able to find a good one. Now they finally just got one. His name is Jordan Thomas. And guess who it is? It's on the Texans. So if you miss out on one of the top guys and you're looking for a guy who potentially could be this year's George Kittle, I'm dead serious. You need to check out Jordan Thomas. And if Jordan Thomas is gone, which he won't be, how's he going to be gone? Nobody even knows about this guy. You should get him. But since I'm on sleepers, the other guy is Waller. You need to look at Waller for the Raiders. So that's why I had to go there on the tight ends. Those are your sleepers, deep sleepers, homies. Give me a like for that deep sleeper. You know you never heard of Darren Waller. Come on, man. You know you ain't heard of Jordan Thomas. Nobody's giving you that stuff. If you don't give me a like, then you ain't never going to give me no likes. Get the hell off my channel if you ain't giving me no likes. I don't care how many likes I get. I only care that the people who watch it like it. I could have just 5 or 10 subscribers, and that's all I really need, because they're the dopest subscribers that there are. I'd rather have quality versus quantity, not no bitches. Don't take this shit personal. Like I said, drinking here. I had a couple of drinks. All right, damn, that shit's warm. All right. Oh, so let's finish off these. I went to Carr, Foles. I like Foles, man. People are sleeping on the Jags. They don't have a lot of good wide receivers, but we're talking about you're in SOL category, shit out of luck category. Now you're up shit creek without a paddle if you're in this category. So if you're up shit creek and you don't have a paddle, you could do a lot worse than Nick Foles. Okay, he's a great quarterback. He's actually a really good quarterback. So he's not going to run the ball a lot. He doesn't have any stud wide receivers. But he's got a great running game, so he's going to have lots of wide open wide receivers, and he's got a great defense with a lot of opportunities. So I just think if you're in a deep situation and you need a backup or something, you do a lot worse than Nick Foles, especially because he's flying under the radar. Jacoby Brissett is actually pretty good, okay? When he was the quarterback before, was a few years ago with a totally different offensive line. So people who are kind of trying to relate this year to when he was playing, yeah, I don't think it's so. Pretty much you can put any decent quarterback behind that offensive line and give them T.Y. Hilton and Ebron and whoever else they want to use. They're going to be able to put up points. And I think Brissett's going to be sneaky good. I really do. He's been sitting a long time behind Andrew Luck, and I'm pretty sure he's gotten a lot better in the past few years. And I know for sure that offensive line is a lot better. So I think you could do pretty good with Brissett. And then the last dart throw kind of deep sleeper I'm going to throw out there is Flacco. It's got a lot of wide receivers. Even his running backs can catch. Got a great defense. He's just got the name Flacco. Nobody likes Flacco. But besides that name of Flacco, man, so he could be a pretty deep sleeper right there. I like Flacco, especially in comparison to the people who are around him. So there's some deep players for you. And I'm going to try to wrap this up, man, as soon as I can. But hopefully you are just kicking back, having a drink, or eating some food and enjoying and chilling, having me in the background for all I care, man. It's kind of entertainment, The whole point is having fun. Unless you're making money, you know what I'm saying? And it's all about making money and having fun. I haven't even gone over running backs. I'm seriously going to have to make another video about running backs because I can't spend another hour. I got to make a 2-hour fucking video. You know what I'm saying? Nobody will watch that shit. So let's go over running backs next video. I'll leave this up here and shut it off and make a new video. And I haven't even gone over these wide receivers yet. Dang. God, I still got my fades and my bust drafts. All right, I'm going to cut this short, doggies. And, man, chances are I'll probably talk about the same shit next time, too. Let me think about this. So I went over those guys. And I wish there was a way you guys could tell me whether I should just shut it down or do another one. You know what I'm saying? Like, you could like it or something. Yeah, man. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to shut it down right now. I have to do it twice. I wish I could just do it on one video for real. But I have to shut down. I'm losing my light, too, so the lighting's getting bad. And there's the only thing worse than bad sound is bad light. And, but fuck it, homies, man. This ain't fucking CBS. Shit. Alright. Scared money don't make money, homies. So make sure you hit the like button. And if you're ready to party, you know what to do. Right now it's time to party. You know what I'm saying? So remember this. The most valuable thing in fantasy football is knowing things that other people don't know. So make sure you hit subscribe and hit like, you know, just for the strategy build section. I mean, that part right there, you get those two top wide receivers. Oh, man, I can't wait to get into wide receivers. I got to shut this down because I got to do another video and just talk about these wide receivers.